All right. Welcome into this edition of the Milwaukee Bucks on Tap podcast. Corey Moen, Evan Byrne. Evan, how are we doing?
Honestly, outside of the weather right now, not too bad. It was 55 degrees on Wednesday, and it's 8 degrees right now and snowing.
Yep, frigid. Frigid. It is. It is really chilly outside. I don't know how it's going to be in the Milwaukee area. In the Madison area, it is about, it's going to be this way from Sunday to Tuesday.
Yep.
So get ready, Wisconsin. Bundle up. Stay safe. Take your car out, obviously, if you're parked on the street, because trust me, you do not want your battery to freeze. So, speaking of frozen, Milwaukee's gone a little cold recently. When the Bucks had an easy part of their schedule, I was like, all right, well, if they win some of those games, they could get back in this thing and maybe compete for like a playoff spot. Well, I mean, they lost some of those games, and now they're at the toughest part of their schedule, and surprise, surprise, they're still losing some more of those games.
That they are.
So, let's start it off. Played last week against the Denver Nuggets. Lost 108-104.
Mm-hmm. No Jokic.
No Nikola Jokic. As you guys know, he's missing some time. I believe it's a sprained knee or hyperextended knee. He was set to miss like 3 weeks when it was announced. So, yeah, no Nikola Jokic, and no Jamal Murray either. Jamal Murray was out as well.
So pretty much a shoo-in, yeah?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope, because they still had Peyton Watson.
Yes, of course.
Now, look, I'm not meaning to denigrate anybody. Like, Denver does have some great role players. And there's a reason why they're perennial title contenders, because they have role players. And when you add Jokic to the mix, then it just becomes, like, a lot harder. And Denver, very tough place to play. I don't even remember. Like, Denver is like a bugaboo place for Milwaukee. I don't remember the last time that they won there. Been a little bit. But here's some kind of notes that I have early. So heading into the game, Milwaukee was second behind Denver in three-point percentage. Denver shot at a 40.2% clip. Milwaukee went 39.5%. And again, this game was very close early, but Denver was able to build like a 9-point lead, which then built to like a 14-0 run. So then by that point, Milwaukee's had to do what's had to do all season, which is play from behind. So what did you see in Milwaukee's loss against Denver?
I mean, it was one of those games where, you lose by 4, but like you look at the stats, they shot a higher percentage, pretty much the exact same from from the 3-point line. It's at the end of the day, they shot 24 of 31 from the free throw line, and Bucks shot 14 of 20. So it's like that small difference really adds up. But I felt like the biggest issue, fouling at the most inconvenient times, giving up 3-pointers after offensive rebounds. They both had 10 offensive rebounds, but it doesn't guarantee you're going to score. Bucks gave up, 9 turnovers, a couple steals, not too bad. But yeah, it's just letting Tim Hardaway Jr. have 25 points. Jalen Pickett, 13. Aaron Gordon, 23. A lot of these guys without Jokic being able to step up, while our role players or starters, Ryan Rounds, 2 points. Gary Harris, 6. Not too bad for Gary. Gary Trent Jr., 0. Gary Trent Jr. has been arguably the worst player, I think, on the Bucks this whole year. I thought, like, when they re-signed a bunch of these guys at the start of the season, it was like a steal. It was like, $8 million or whatever they're paying him for like 1 or 2 years. He's shooting like 4 shots a game, and he's usually missing all of them, or 1 of 4 or something like that. But no, it's just like a waste at that point. But no, like Giannis, 31, 10 field goals, 11 assists, almost a triple-double. Next high score was 16, Miles Turner. It's like there's just no one that's also able to kind of carry the load outside of 3 guys, including Giannis. Had a couple good from double digits on the bench, but no, it's just at that point, the defense near the end of the game, they Bucks outscore 30-23 in the fourth quarter. You're still losing. They scored what is that, 46 points in the second half, the Nuggets, and you still lose. It's, again, that one corner or you foul a lot more. But no, it's a frustrating game because, again, you're out their 2 best players. We had 2 games in a row without their 2 all-star players, and they still lose. Obviously, this one's a lot closer than the Wolves game, but good Lord. I don't know. It's just like I watched the whole game, and then last 2 minutes, I'm like, well, that was a waste of my time. And it's like they just can't close it out. And no, it's frustrating, especially, again, these are some of the games without their star players. So, like, these are some games that you can slowly kind of get back into. And now they continue to not want to do that. And it's unfortunate because bad basketball, and it's just horrible to watch.
Yeah, and look, heading into the halftime, Milwaukee was 9 of 18 from 3. And, they kept the game close. I mean, in the third at one point, like, they were down 1. They just weren't able to capitalize. I think underrated, who had a really big impact, and I think this has always been a player Milwaukee's had issues with, is Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown, they could not stand in front of him. Like, he was drawing fouls. He was getting past by Bobby Portis. And, it's those impact players. Like we mentioned before, Tim Hardaway. They were not guarding Tim Hardaway from outside the three-point line. Like, they were not. Okay, he had a lot of wide open shots. And I'm like, dude, Tim Hardaway, like, there's a reason why he still has a role in the NBA, because his ability to knock down open shots. Okay. And, whether it's like that, Peyton Watson, Jalen Pickett, Christian Brown wasn't even in there either. So it's just like Milwaukee, it's the same defensive breakdowns that, like, we've been watching in the entire season.
Yep.
Like, just the same stuff. And, like, that's the frustrating part, is I know they have defensive talent, but it just feels like this falls on deaf ears, and just not being able to capitalize against good teams like this, or, they held for over 7 minutes. They held Denver without a field goal, like in the third, and that's the disconnect where it's like, Milwaukee has ample opportunities to be able to get something going offensively, but it feels like the only time they can get something going offensively is when Giannis is on the floor. That's the only time. Outside of that, it's like, the broadcast team harps on this. How are the Bucks going to do in the non-Giannis minutes? And they haven't. It hasn't been great. Has not been great. It just feels like we need Giannis. And I think maybe this is a reason why the franchise is trying so hard to keep him, is because they know what the offense and what the team is going to look like without him. Okay, this would be a lottery team without Giannis. Like, dead honest, because even with Giannis in there, Evan,
they're losing to the Wizards 2 times with Giannis.
They're losing to the Wizards 2 times, but like, even those wins against bad teams, they haven't looked pretty.
No,
they have not looked pretty at all. And again, like, it's just nobody can create anything offensively without Giannis out on the floor. Okay, and you are right about Gary Trent. Gary Trent. Last year, oh my God, in the playoffs against the Pacers, he was shooting lights out. He was one of our best players in that series. But now this year, he hasn't been shooting the ball particularly well. I understand he missed a couple of games due to injury, but, like, even before that, again, he has not shot well. And you just have to wonder. It's like, what can they possibly do to, like, is there anything that they can do to get over the hump to beat some of these good teams? Because Giannis can't go, God mode, okay? Like, other guys have to step up, and unfortunately, in the game the other night against the Nuggets, they let it slip away, particularly, if you remember, on the final sequence of the game. Horrible. Giannis touched the ball once in that sequence. It was, I believe, if memory serves correct, I believe Kevin Porter Jr. took, like, the first shot, okay, and then I think it might have been flipped. It might have been Ryan Rollins or Kevin Porter Jr. Either way, those two guys took the final shots, but we're not even close. I'm like, what? Like, what are we doing? Everything should be running through Giannis. Like, everything. If it's an open shot from AJ Green or Gary Trent, Ryan, whatever, Those two should not be creating anything offensively to try to get the final shot. Absolutely not. Giannis is the best player on the floor. He should be touching the ball more times than not. Does everything runs through him offensively? Okay. He has to touch the ball. Like, especially in key moments like that, absolutely. Give him the ball.
They got blessed with 3 opportunities, and yet they
squandered them like they've been doing all year.
Yep. Oh, good shot. Oh, rebound again. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Another. The game is over.
All year, and they weren't even good shots. It wasn't like a shot hit the rim or whatever. It was just they were not
just chucking it up, hoping it went in, be the savior, etc.
Nope, didn't happen. Another loss to the Bucks mantle. But Evan, surely it went a little better the other night against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yep. No Rudy Gobert, no Anthony Edwards.
Oh, come on.
Pretty shoe and win again.
Oh, hey, you know what? Hey, but come on. With a team like, Dante DiVincenzo and, Julius Randle.
Yep.
Like, and Jaden McDaniels. I think I might have said him already. Like, surely with that roster, with that team, without, the 2-star players, surely, hey, Minnesota, like, Naz Reid, throw his name in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Milwaukee had to have kept it close, right?
No, I don't think they did, actually.
No, I don't think so either. Wolves won that game 139-105. I mean, really. Like, and here's some of the notes I have. Way too many open shots for Minnesota in the first. Okay. Jane McDaniels, who they really forgot that he could shoot, not just defend, went 4-4 from 3 in the first. Okay. Miles Turner did play. Minnesota had 8 threes in the first. 8 threes. Like,
more than they scored.
Like, 13 heading into half. Nearly 70% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
So that means they were just nobody was just playing no defense. When a team's shooting nearly 70%, you're coming out flat. You're coming out lifeless. You're not even trying by that point. And I hate to put that on athletes. Good luck. But again, But hey, of course, Doc Rivers have an excuse. Oh, our legs were heavy. I don't want to hear that. Okay, a team coming out flat and lifeless. Like, it happens once in a while, right? But it should happen when you're a good team. When you come out flat and lifeless and you're a bad team, like the Bucks are, that's on coaching. Like, when your first excuse that you played in there is, it was tired, man. I was like, golly, it was a long road trip. Anyway, I tried to hear that. And Doc Rivers would not be saying that at this sort of particularly good team. But you know what? Hey, I get it. He's trying to protect his players. But fans do not want to hear excuses about, like, like, honestly, people pay good money to watch, like, a good product out on the floor. And when that good product doesn't happen, a lot of people are going to point to that and be like, that's on you. That is on coaching. Okay? Like, and by the way, I think Giannis completely disagreed with that. Completely. Like, Giannis is not an excuse guy. He's like, look, we can't play like that. Okay? In front of the home crowd, like, you cannot come out and get boat raced without Anthony Edwards and without Rudy Gobert. That cannot happen. Okay? You have to come, and that's a concerning part of this team. I mean, this team has no sense of urgency to realize that their season is slowly but surely slipping away. And, Doc Rivers can make a million excuses, but that is the reality here. This team is sitting 17-24. They just got boat raced by the Timberwolves. Okay. Like, they have this guy, Johan Furringer. I've never heard of him before, but he's their rookie and he killed us in the paint. Could not stop him. Like, so that's a concerning part. It's like they're really letting, like, just role players just eat on him in the paint.
Yeah, and it was, I saw Rudy Gobert, was he suspended for something? Is that why he was out? Interesting. Okay. But yeah, the Timberwolves game, Bucks scored 45 in the first half. They gave up 38 in the first quarter. It's like you gave up what you scored in the half in one quarter. They scored 38 back-to-back. Bones Highland, 21 minutes off the bench at 23 points, 5 threes. Everyone in their starting lineup had, I was looking at the minutes for a second, but everyone almost had double digits except Mike Conley, 9 points still. Julius Randle, 12, 18. It's like, good Lord. Shot horribly everywhere. And yeah, no one had it. And I was working that night at a game, and I just get a text from my dad being like, good Lord, Bucks. And I looked at the score. I'm like, huh. Oh, it looks like I'm not rewatching that one. But no, just again, another game where lose to the team, without their 2 best stars. Obviously, there still is good players, like you mentioned, on that team, but still, like, we are fully healthy outside of Torian Prince. It's like you couldn't do a thing without Edwards and Gobert. Their top rebounder, top scorer, and yep, another game happened.
Yeah, and honestly, and here's a stat for you that was kind of crazy. That was the T-Wolves. I don't know if this streak's still active, but that was their 99th straight game scoring at least 100 points, which was the longest active streak in the NBA. You know how crazy that is? Like, I understand scoring is like king in the NBA, but 99 straight times the Timberwolves have scored over 100 points. I don't even know if that's. I'm going to try to see if that's snapped because that game was like last week.
It says the Minnesota Timberwolves recently achieved a major milestone, scoring 100 plus points in their 100th consecutive game in January 2026, making them only the 3rd team in NBA history with such a streak.
Insane.
Yeah, it looks like they've hit 100.
Yeah, okay. So I'm assuming did they not have any games before then? I'm assuming not.
Doesn't look like it.
Look at this. Yeah, okay. They had the Rockets 105, and then they scored 123. Dude, that is insane. Scored 100 plus. Like, you know how efficient you have to be offensively to score like that many points?
Yeah, December 2024 to present day is their streak. The highest is 136. Whew.
And as you might have noticed, I knew this game was over. Milwaukee pretty much early in the fourth, like probably 3 minutes in, waved the white flag.
Yep.
You start seeing guys like Pete Nance and Amir Coffey and Andre Jackson Jr., Jericho. So you start seeing guys like that, and it was just like, yep, this game's over.
It's like, again, even with all this nonsense that's been going on, it's like Andre Jackson Jr. is still sitting at the end of the bench. Went from being a literal starter to bench rider. It's like, just throw him in there and see what happens. You never know. But why would Doc Rivers want to do that, though?
Wait, yeah, it's like he started like 40 plus games. I think last season.
Yeah, with Adrian Griffin, he was a starter, and then all of a sudden, sayonara, and Doc Rivers like, yeah, shoo. Let's get these other guys in here.
I will say that Ajax is still like plays with that ample amount of aggressiveness. He does ball a lot. I will say that. However, I mean, he's a lot better than what you have right now. And I mean, not going to bench Miles Turner because he's making like too much money. So, what else are you going to do? So, but you know what, Evan? Hey, you know what? At least it went a little better against the other night against the Spurs. No, it didn't. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, no, they got blown out again.
119-101.
That third quarter was pretty good for the Bucks. They gave up 40 points, only scored 16.
Hey, you know what? Hey,
that'll keep you in the game.
Oh, hey, you're right. You got that right. It's not like Giannis is. The weeks I would say Giannis averaged almost 35 points against the Spurs, which is crazy. Now, the one, I hate to say it, I don't root for injuries. The one carrot that I thought Milwaukee could have won this game. Wemby did leave early in the first quarter. Him and Giannis had some knee contact. He hobbled back to the locker room, and he started to was on the bicycle in the hallway, try to and that didn't seem to affect him after.
Still outscored Giannis.
Like Wemby, I've said this about Wemby. Okay. I mean, first of all, I think that was his first game with the shaved head. So that was, and you know what? He looks even more scary now than he did when he had hair. Hate to say it, but when he hit that turnaround three over AJ Green, I was like, oh god, this guy is.
Yeah, it was payback from when AJ Green did that to him.
This guy is on another level. And not only that, but like him being like that tall and that long, he can affect a lot of shots, even if he's not like there. But like trying to shoot over him, like that's got to be really tough. For having to have Wembanyama contest one of your shots, that's got to be tough to do. But again, it wasn't even just the third, Evan. It was the second. I mean, really started to slip away in the second. The Spurs won a 22-3 run. They kind of over the last 4 minutes. Justin Champagne shot the ball particularly well. So again, when you have guys outside of Wemby contributing, like him, it was De'Aaron Fox, it was Stephon Castle, it was Wemby. When you have guys like that who are contributing, it makes it very, very hard to win. And, Wesley Matthews said it in the broadcast earlier. It's like, San Antonio is a really tough place to play, but it's particularly tough when the Spurs are kind of back to being good.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's crazy what happens when you do a rebuild and you generate these picks and you develop them.
Yeah.
It's crazy how fast you can do that. My favorite part about this game was the Bucks ended the game with a 21-4 run and still lost by 18. I think that was one of my favorite things. Seeing a run like that and you didn't even make a dent in the lead or the deficit that you had at the end of the game. 32-13 in the fourth quarter, you still are 32-13 in the fourth quarter and you still lose by 18. It's like they just dug themselves a hole in the third quarter and like, now let's kick into the high gear now. Yeah, just another brutal game, starting lineup, 21 points, Giannis, Miles Turner, 5. Kevin Porter Jr., 0 for 9, 0 points. AJ Green, 6. Ryan Rollins, 6. The Nastas had more points than Kevin Porter Jr. did. Same with Jericho Sims, same with Gary Harris. It's like, holy, 0 for 9? It's like, dude was just running at that point. But no, it's just when your starting lineup outside of Giannis combines for, 21, so then 6, 12, 17 points throughout 4 people. Like, come on. And it was still a closer game than the Timberwolves won. I don't know. I got nothing else to say.
I really don't either. So, let's just move on to the second part of this podcast.
Can do.